wake up with their piss hot. So, you just got to be ready to go. And that's reality. That is the way it is.
Woke up with my piss hot. What a way to start. Sweat on my forehead, racing hard. Woke up with my piss hot. Ready to ignite. Let's raise some hell. Let's own the night.
Daniels, just a rookie. 26 out of 30. 87%, 231 yards. He rushes for 47. He's doing everything. Shredded, baby. CJ Stroud, 345 yards. Brings the Texans back. Wins it at the buzzer. Shred him, Stroud.
Welcome back to Fantasy Football by Committee, powered by Flurry Sports. It can be tough to win a fantasy league on your own, but at FFBC, we will work together to bring home the hardware. Hosted by Zach Bruner and the rest of the Flurry Sports crew, we will give top-level analysis, answer your questions, and, well, go off on other tangents.
That was after I tried to get ChatGPT to admit that 9/11 was an inside job, but it stood firm. It gave quite a few solid points that it was true.
Welcome to Fantasy Football by Committee. The show starts in 3, 2.
What is up, you guys? Welcome to Fantasy Football Week 16. Hopefully you're still in your fantasy playoffs, and that's the reason why you are watching. Of course, if you are not, we'll give you plenty of fantasy advice, and the rankings and all of that will be good for DFS purposes if you're just trying to avoid last place in your fantasy leagues. Whatever it may be, we're happy you're here, happy to hang out. Send us anything you want, unless, of course, you're the people last week who were sending videos. And those, you don't need to do that anymore. But while we're here, top of the show, obviously the end of the fantasy football season. Yes, Luke, I'll get to you in a second. At the end of the fantasy football season here, we are going to keep the ranking show going, but we're transitioning into the ranking show, which is our podcast where we are ranking anything and everything. So if you have any ideas of things you want to see ranked, we will be doing that. It can be anything from your favorite pizza toppings, favorite Pop-Tarts. We've done all that sort of stuff, but anything you want to see ranked that has a variety of things, obviously, let us know, and we are down to do absolutely anything. How's it going, Luke?
Good. Just as you said that, we should do movie villains, because I don't know what you guys, I like villains a lot more than I like heroes. But anyways, what's worse, taking second in a fantasy league or taking last?
I've never been last, so I don't know, but second hurts.
Yeah, like, horrible.
I'd rather be third or fourth than second.
Yeah,
I think
it pisses me off.
I think it depends. Like in one of my leagues, I'm going up against a juggernaut because everybody trades with him and they do stupid trades. So like the odds are very much stacked against me. So second doesn't hurt that bad, but so I go last hurts more.
I feel like you have to try to be last place.
Yeah,
most of the time, yeah.
Yeah, I guess probably second, right, would be a little bit more disappointing, right? You have the chance to take the top spot. Like you come in last, you can kind of like chalk it up to injuries. Maybe you got a Christian McCaffrey and an Olave and Tua you drafted this year or something.
Last is also a slow burn. It's not like you're getting last place and you're surprised by it at this point.
Right.
Like I would hope you understand it, unless you do it in a way where it's like you make the losers bracket or whatever, and then you lose the games to ultimately you get your league punishment or whatever that may be, whatever that is. But second, you've invested months and months and months, and it comes down to that final day, and boy, such a disappointment.
I will say, as somebody who lost as a very heavy favorite to you, Zach, in Dynasty last year, that hurt. That hurt a lot.
And NFL is cyclical, so we'll see what happens this week.
You know what else?
You're a heavy favorite. You should win. You're going to win this week. You're guaranteed to win this matchup.
I'm not going to win this week.
Guaranteed to win. You're favored by like 20, 30 points.
I'm only favored by 12.
Ooh, that's a bad look.
I would argue that like fifth is kind of bad too. Like if it's like a 6 to 8 team league, if you're in fifth, that means you probably lost your first playoff matchup. Probably all pissed off. You're all excited to be in the playoffs, and you lose, and now what the fuck are you playing for? You know?
I mean, yeah, if you're one and done in the playoffs, that stinks.
Yeah.
That is, especially if you're like the best team in the league and you get bounced because
Yep.
of Cooper Cup last week or somebody
Right.
like that. That's just that one's so stupid. Luckily, every league I had Cooper Cup, I got by somehow, but that's not like your fault at that point. Like if you make a bad start sit decision, Cooper Cup getting goose egged, I mean, that's not your fault.
Yeah, I mean,
you play Cooper Cup 100 out of 100 times.
Yeah, it is what it is.
yeah, I mean, I get it was in the consolation for you, Luke, but you had two players put up eggs that didn't make sense at all, and that's
Yeah.
just like what the
I
hell?
was in our dynasty league. I was kind of in a weird spot. And this is kind of been a first for me. I drafted Isaac Garendo as a rookie in our rookie draft, and I immediately put him on my taxi squad. I'm like, you know, he's not going to play, whatever. Then
Mhm.
I got to it was like whatever week 13 or whatever. I needed to win 2 games and needed someone to lose to get in the playoffs. So instead of taking him off, I just kept him in my taxi squad.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't, you would know better than me if that would have changed the outcome of
I
your
mean,
matchups or whatever.
one of them it would, but I don't know. Like I didn't think it was worth it to take it out of the taxi squad and get rid of someone else. It was hard for me to make the playoffs.
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
Plus, at that point, you can say, "Hey, I could have made the playoffs, but I didn't want to make a bad move."
Mhm. Forward thinking, long term thinking, which is the opposite of any dynasty decision you've ever made. So,
Correct. I don't like it.
Yeah. I know. That's why I'm like,
Yeah.
I can imagine it burns a little bit more for you. Patty's got a question here 10 team PPR. Crazy, but have to sit one. Talking Joe Mixon. Why can't I think of the Hill?
Tyreek.
JSN. Tyreek Hill is so weird right now. Obviously, he has a tweet about time for him to go, coach. At no punctuation, so it sounds like he's going to go coach like Teddy Bridgewater. But as McDaniel said, he usually calls him sir, which is a very alpha move to say, or he lost the locker room. It's one of the two. So I'm interested to see what happens there. I don't like Mixon much this week though, but they should get Kenyon Green back. I believe, as their left guard, which will help. It's going to help the run blocking a lot, but he hasn't been great either. I think I'd still sit Tyreek Hill, but I don't know, man.
Yeah, I've been pushing for him all year. And I mean, so it's an odd spot, right? He probably took Tyreek Hill like 103, 104, somewhere in there, and you're going to sit that in the playoffs. It's tough, but I guess you kind of have to do it.
Yeah, I'm sitting Hill. Like at least Mixon has got you to this point. So I believe in starting that. So I would sit Hill as well.
Is JSN the one lock out of these three?
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think so too. That's just interesting to think coming into this year.
I mean,
and
he's
even after like the first few weeks.
He's quietly like wide receiver 6 on the season.
Yeah, he's been great. He's been the only steady thing there. Does it change if Howell is that quarterback? Is that enough to move him out?
I don't think so. I like Howell's a gunslinger. He'll force feed.
I guess, but I mean, he didn't do jack shit when he came into the game. He forced nothing other than. I mean, he just saw pressure and ate it.
Well, in that sense, if coming in with Sam Howell, imagine probably short routes, screen routes, crossers,
For sure.
pitches, like that's right up JSN's alley.
I do think Howell in hurts Metcalf more than anybody. Like the deep developing routes
Right.
aren't going to be there. It's a bad offensive line anyways, and Geno hit a lot of that hurt. So I think regardless, it's going to have to be short, quick developing routes this week because defense knows that Geno's hurt. So
Yeah.
I would assume they pin their ears back and test it immediately. Like try to beat us deep. That's what I would do.
Yep.
So yeah, I think that's good for JSN. For the Dolphins, I think Waddle is probably going to be out. So again, two lines of thinking: either Tyreek sees 20 targets, or the defense takes one person away. Now that they don't have two deep threats to really worry about. So yeah, they all have red flags, but I think I'd say Hill. And you are welcome, Patty. Josh Kane have to start 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, 2 flex. He has Jacobs, Ford, Bucky, Walker, Adams, Brian Thomas, Smitty, Judy, Jerry Judy, and Zay Flowers, I assume. Jacobs is an automatic start.
Yep.
I assume Adams is an automatic start.
Yep. Judy
Brian
automatic
Thomas.
start.
Judy's not for me, not at all.
Really?
I think you're sitting every Browns pass catcher.
Against Cincinnati?
Yeah. What's Thompson Robinson's the quarterback?
Yeah, I guess I forgot about that.
Like maybe I'll bring up his stats because in my mind, we all think of him as preseason. He has been he's been one of the worst quarterbacks I've ever seen in regular season.
Yeah.
You guys talk through that. I want to bring up his actual stats, and I think he has like 3 legitimate games. So it's not a big sample size, but
So the 2 running backs are Jacobs, Ford, Bucky, Ken Walker, I assume that is.
I think so.
So out of those 2, like probably Jacobs and Ken Walker if he plays, right?
I like Ford. That's the only Browns guy I think I like this week.
And his work in the I like his work in the pass game too, especially with Robinson there.
And Chubb's obviously done, so
Right.
he should see a ton of work. He likes Bucky and Ford though. I mean, Bucky's been solid. I think Bucky's a flex for you.
Right. So it's Jacobs, Ford, Bucky, Devontae Adams, Brian Thomas for the 2 receivers. And then so we're between Ken Walker, Devontae Smith, Jerry Judy, and Zay Flowers for 2 flex spots.
Bucky would be one of the flexes.
Okay.
So one other flex between.
Then
Ken
I'm doing
Walker.
Devontae Smith. I'm doing Devontae Smith. I've gone to bat for this guy his whole career. Eagles looked unstoppable last week in the pass game. They get that going again. AJ Brown and Devontae Smith both kind of eating that offense. I'm going Devontae Smith. I don't trust Zay Flowers either. I think that 5 touchdown game from Lamar, not that he can't do it, but that was a little bit of an anomaly. I don't know why they didn't run the ball against the Giants, but I guess they didn't really have to because the pass game was so good. I think Baltimore gets a little bit more to a run game here, so I'm going Devontae Smith.
And I don't trust Ken Walker, regardless if he's healthy or not. I'm done with it. Same, Trevor?
Yeah, the exact same. Like, we don't need to make Zay Flowers a thing this year.
Okay, so Thompson Robinson last year, 100% of the snaps, he went for 53% completion rate, 121 passing yards, no touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 24 yards rushing. Next start, 100% of the snaps, 56% completion rate, 165 passing yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception, 20 rushing yards. Played 71% of the next game in his start, went for 48% of the snaps, finally passed for a touchdown, 134 passing yards, only 21 rushing yards. And then he had 45% of the snaps earlier this year in replacement of an injury, passed for 46%, had 82 passing yards, 2 interceptions, no touchdowns, 44 yards rushing. So he has been among the least efficient passers possibly in NFL history, and he hasn't really been running very much.
Yeah, he sucks.
I mean, truly, they're doing it just to see what they got in him, I guess, and he must have shown enough in practice to say, let's give him one last shot in games that don't mean anything. But if you're trying to get players, if you're trying to see what you have in the rest of your team, like you're talking Elijah Moore, you're talking Tillman if he gets healthy.
Yeah.
I don't know why you're not playing Jameis Winston.
Yeah. Agreed. Who did the Browns play 2 weeks ago?
The Browns
Broncos?
played the Broncos.
Yeah. That was a close game, wasn't it? That was Monday night?
Yeah, 41-32.
Yeah. I think these last couple games, I think if Deshaun Watson plays, the Browns probably have 2 more wins under their belt.
If Deshaun Watson plays?
Instead of Jameis Winston.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Have you
Jameis
seen-
has been selling games.
He's the only reason why they're competitive.
So was Deshaun Watson, though.
Maybe. Yeah. Sure. I don't know. Yeah. Fine.
Jameis has them in games. He's losing plenty once he gets them there. But with Deshaun Watson, they were
I don't
there.
know.
That's a different team.
I
You're
don't know.
going to bat for Deshaun Watson?
Well, I'm so out on Jameis. I think he's a horrible fucking quarterback.
Really?
So you
'Cause
hitch
yeah.
your wagon to Watson?
That's not that. My point is not hitching a wagon to Watson. It's more of hitching a wagon to Jameis Winston is horrible.
he's not good, but he is not
yeah.
horrible.
Yeah, fine, but he. I mean, I do not want Jameis Winston as a quarterback of any of my teams.
I think I'm the opposite.
I disagree. I want him on the Badgers. Make it
No,
happen.
I think the joke.
Same, I guess.
Well, that's fine, but the joke I think is run out with Jameis Winston. It's not cute anymore. I think it's just annoying watching him play football.
I like it. I think it's fun. He's a character. I think nothing's genuine, but I think it's great.
It's once the camera gets on him, he's a whole new person.
But he knows where his camera is at all times.
That's fine.
We need more people like that.
I guess.
He's
don't know.
electric. His pregame promos, his postgame promos, they're great. When Jameis is playing great, it's even better. When he's not playing great, it's still good.
Yeah.
And
that's
as someone
fine.
who owns Jerry Jeudy, I really, really, really would like for him to play this week because I play
Okay, that's
Trevor.
fair point. That's fair point.
Yeah, because boy, Jerry Judy's had more receiving yards, average since Jameis Winston than Thompson Robinson's had total passing yards averaged as a quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not going to be good. It's Cincinnati's terrible,
Right.
terrible on defense. So we'll see just how bad Thompson Robinson is this week. It's going to be something. Darrow made the playoffs. You are welcome for the advice and thanks for showing up. Who should he start, Ford or Mixon? I'm going Ford, I think.
Yep.
For wide receivers, pick 3, Thomas, DJ Moore, McLaurin, Jerry Jeudy. That's tough. I think the first 2 are locks for me.
Yeah, I'm doing the first 3.
McLaurin against the Eagles is very tough.
That's fine. It's Thompson Robinson though for Judy.
I know. I just talked about it, but boy, I think the Eagles have the best defense in the league.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Eagles are the best team in the league, and I think they blow
Oh,
Washington.
yeah.
They blow Washington out in this game, so I think Washington's passing this entire game.
If they blow them out, I don't know how many possessions Washington has.
Either way, James Daniels been kind of balling.
I think I'm still going Jerry Jeudy.
I'm going
Thompson
the first 2
Robinson-
with Luke.
Thompson Robinson might pass for 80 yards and have all 80 to Jerry Jeudy. That's kind of what I'm hoping for.
See, that's what I think, but all 80 are going to Jerome Ford.
I mean, that's possible too. I do like Jerome Ford more with Thompson Robinson than Jameis. I think he's the only one who sees an upgrade there.
Yeah.
Even if it's not much. Touchdown upside's lower, I suppose, but he should see higher usage. Fedas, Bucky or Cortland Sutton half PPR. That's super tough. Who did the Bucks play again?
Dallas Sunday night.
I think I'm going him then.
Yeah, for sure.
Sutton versus the Chargers tomorrow, which I don't really like.
Yeah, you have more flexibility to playing Bucky.
True. And he seems, for all the injury report, the huge list of injuries, he seems to be playing perfectly fine.
Yeah, I mean, he had 800 injuries last week, and he had 111 yards or whatever it was.
Yeah. He had enough injuries to scare me off of him, but that was the wrong decision, obviously. Pizza Guy, is Tillman ever going to recover from concussion protocol? If so, is he unplayable if Jameis doesn't start?
Correct.
Yes, unplayable. Is he ever going to recover from concussion protocol?
Who knows?
I mean, the Browns have no reason to bring him back.
Yeah.
I don't know how he's still in protocol, but yeah, I don't know. Either way, if he's healthy, if he practices tomorrow in full and cleared from protocol, I'm still not playing him.
Yeah. Agreed.
Pereira, Steven, Neighbors, Devontae, Jonathan Taylor, half PPR pick 2, also Jaden Daniels or Kyler. Let me look. I think I have Kyler above Jaden Daniels this week.
I would probably agree with you on that.
I do.
Um,
I'm in the minority on that though.
Sure.
I don't like the fact of trusting a fantasy football championship to Kyler Murray, but I also don't like it against Jaden Daniels against Philly, so I'd probably pick that too.
I get that. Pick 2 between Neighbors, Devontae, Taylor. Again, Devontae's a lock.
Yep.
Colts play who again?
Titans.
Colts play Titans. I think I'm going Neighbors then.
Yeah. Fuck Jonathan Taylor.
Regardless of quarterback, I mean, it seems like if the Giants they don't care about win-loss at this point anymore. They just want to shut Neighbors up.
Yeah.
Which is giving him 15, 20 targets, which is great.
Yeah. Jonathan Taylor kind of destroyed the Colts season, huh?
He did. Great run up until that point, though.
Oh, incredible run.
Yeah.
How does it still happen so much? Like, honestly, how is that a thing?
They're just
Dumbasses.
into their celebration. I don't know. It's so dumb. It's so selfish. I hate it.
I got a question for you guys.
Go for it.
I'm in a league. I'm in a championship against a dude that's team is stacked. I have Adams, Hill, Wilson, and Devontae Smith for
Love
my
this team.
flexes. Am I taking Hill out for Devontae Smith?
No.
I think I have Hill ranked higher. Let's see. Yeah. I mean, it's against San Francisco. He's at home.
Yeah, you're not taking Hill out.
I would
All
still
right.
go with Hill, but yeah.
And then second question, pick 2 between Bijan, Garendo, and Pacheco.
Bijan and Pacheco.
I mean, obviously Bijan. Who do the Chiefs play? Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Is Grendo practicing in full? That's the question.
He did not practice Wednesday.
Okay. I hate Pacheco in this matchup.
Me too.
Really? Why is that?
Because he's not very good. The offensive line isn't very good, and the Texans have a top 3 defense in the NFL. They're missing Shahir still, so
Bullshit.
I agree. I would probably go Pacheco, but
You don't like him.
not at all. No, like he might finish with 5 points. I'm not very optimistic. Obviously, this does feel like a game where the Chiefs blow the Texans out after everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we'll see. It makes a big difference whether Wentz or Mahomes is in there as well. So I don't know why Mahomes would play this week, even though he's practicing in full. We'll see.
He's one of those psychopaths. That's why.
He is, but I mean, come on. And we got to see where Tooney's going to play because Tooney is an absolute dog. Went out to play left tackle, was so good at left tackle, but then the interior of the offensive line was terrible
Yeah.
because he wasn't there. So if he's not playing guard, then all of a sudden Pacheco's not going to run the ball. So we'll see.
I have a chance now in that league too. I'm only down 4 because he had to take out Kamara for Najee. Mixon, Joe Burrow, CD, and Puka are going to hurt me, but
Yeah.
gotta believe. Terry McLaurin put up a dud.
I think he will. I don't think he's going to be great. Fades, Colts, or Jags defense. Let's
Not
see
the
where they're
Jags.
ranked. Jags play somebody bad this week. They play the Raiders, so that might be
Colts.
enough.
Colts have Mason Rudolph
Who's-
this week. I'm doing
who's-
Colts.
Mason
Ooh.
Rudolph's been decent though, hasn't he? Or am
He
I
has been
completely
defense.
off?
No, he has been. I mean, I'm playing him in our other dynasty out of necessity, I suppose, but I had to pick him up just to play a second quarterback this week. But he's been good. I would still go Colts though. Yeah, Jags are bad. They're bad. Unless because I think Desmond Ridder is back to the bench. If Desmond Ridder is playing, at that point, I think you can play Jacksonville because he is not it either. He is terrible. Sitting McLaurin against Philly for Rico. I like that. Running back starters, Bijan and Garendo. Check Garendo's injury report. Wide receivers are Devontae and Evans. Also have Najee, Shakir, Brian Robinson, and Waddle. Thoughts? I think you have the best starters in right now if everybody plays. Right?
For sure. I don't hate if you have to sneak Khalil Shakir in there either.
Yeah, he's fine. I think he would be the next one up for me.
Right, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
I think if I'm pizza guy, I'm really hoping Guerrero goes because Brian Robinson against Philly could be ugly, and Najee against Baltimore. I don't trust Najee against anybody, much less Baltimore.
Yeah. I'm not high on him this week at all. So yeah, Shakir would be the next one up by default, I think. The others have bad matchups, and Waddle is probably not going to go. I don't know, 50-50 at this point.
I think the Bills might win this game by 600 points.
They might. This is also a game the Bills lose, you know.
Yeah. New England's not playing for anything though.
No, and they're bad. They're
really bad.
Gerard Mayo's bad. That defense is terrible. Drake May is good though.
Yeah, he's the only good one.
As somebody who has Josh Allen, I'm scared.
No, don't.
And as someone who's playing Ramondre Stevenson against Trevor, Bills' run defense is trash.
Yeah, I have never been less confident in the semifinal.
You don't need to be scared. Josh Allen has 10 combined touchdowns in the last 2 games.
You're right. Ramondre's going to be bad this week.
Ramondre, I don't care. But Josh Allen, you don't need to be scared about.
No, I'm a little lower on him based just where I think he'll finish based on the last couple of weeks because some people think that keeps happening. If the Bills do what the Bills should do, well, regardless, the Patriots aren't going to put up the number of points to force the Bills to be that aggressive. Unless Ramondre Stevenson just goes crazy. But probably not. You know what I mean?
I've seen too many of your players, most notably in the fantasy championship, just go shot out of a cannon. And now you added T. Higgins and some other guys. So I've lived this life before.
I'm telling you, I might put up 200 this week, and I might put up under 100. My team's not that great, but we are peaking.
See, here's the thing about bye weeks in fantasy playoffs. They are a blessing and a curse. Because it was so nice not having to sweat it out, but it was also a pain in the ass knowing that I just wasted 225 points for no reason.
And my guys have been in a rhythm. They haven't had that bye week lull.
My guys, I rested them.
I saw what you did. You put all your players on the bench. I think that's the worst thing you could do. I'm telling you. You put you rested your players?
You're not getting shots up.
Hey, they need a second bye, man. They're getting too tired.
Can we talk about Penix? Absolutely.
Yeah, let's do it.
Michael Penix, I'm picking him up and I'm starting him this week over Tua in fantasy playoffs.
He's been he's been the best quarterback in the Atlanta Falcons quarterback room all season long, and he's finally getting a start here.
He's going to win me 2 fantasy championships in a row.
Yeah, he might go for 350 and 4 against the Giants this week.
Yeah, he's very good. Giants are very bad. Definitely an upgrade for everybody there in Atlanta, in my opinion. This whole situation with Cousins was so mismanaged, it's obnoxious. But he was put in a position to fail, for sure. Penix is very good, though. And this offense, unlike Kirk Cousins, it fits Penix.
Yeah.
This is an offense for Penix. So I expect more downfield shots. Go watch some Penix Dunze highlights from last year just to get yourself all hyped up about him. You have Mahomes and him.
Penix.
I think I'm playing him over Mahomes.
Penix, for sure.
Now, question for you, Zach, because you're playing me. Do you want Josh Allen or Michael Penix?
Josh Allen.
You're still playing Josh Allen, but I really wish we didn't have a trade deadline. If we didn't have a trade deadline, you have Penix.
Yeah.
I was going to say I'd offer anything for him because I would love to trade for Penix and play him this week. I have Lamar, but
I know I
would be better.
I was hoping I had Penix in the Dynasty League where I'm shit because I really want to start him over Caleb Williams, but I do not have him.
That's one I for sure would do. Where do I have Penix currently ranked? After hearing the Costco hot dog thing, I've never been more confident in my life.
Correct.
I had him at 25. I'm not exaggerating when I say he'll probably be 15 to 12
Yeah, I would say 12 for sure.
Yeah, he's because I'm picking up and playing him over Tua.
Yeah, I've never been more confident in a quarterback who's never started a game in football than I am right now.
He's a dog. He's so good.
Yep,
He's
he is. But even like I said, he's going to go for 350 and 4. Jokes aside, like look what just based on the matchup, look what Lamar Jackson did against the Giants last week. He had what 305. Even if Penix goes for 225 and 3, that's still an incredible fantasy day.
well, also, I mean, I think the Falcons do run the ball a ton just to get him comfortable, and that's going to take away a little fantasy value because I think they're going to have success doing that against the Giants because again, they're very bad. Just preseason, my thoughts. I was on record saying I think Penix is the best rookie quarterback, and I still have that thought after watching them. So you can look at all the performances and stuff, and just judge like where my current mindset is on him. Like I'm hyped on him. I think the matchup is great, but just pure talent alone. Like, do you guys remember what my 2 knocks on him were during the draft process?
He's
'Cause I
got
had
like
only 2.
3 torn ACLs.
Yeah, injury is one, and healthy, so
Yep.
doesn't matter. And second is age. Like in terms
Yeah.
of a quarterback prospect, he's 24. So if he plays his full 5-year contract, which he's probably not going to do before getting another deal, like he's almost going to be 30 at that point already, which is insane. But that just means he's ready to go. He's extremely experienced. He's experienced in this exact type of offense, and he has great weapons around him. The Falcons are a
I was gonna say
perfect
that, yeah.
situation to succeed.
I was going to say if you're uncertain about his abilities, I mean he has Bijan, he has Algier, he has Drake London, he has Darnell Mooney, he has Ray McLeod. I mean you can even throw Kyle Pitts in there if you really want to. Like there's like weapons, playmakers all over. Just get the ball in their hands and he's going to get points.
He will for sure get Kyle Pitts involved this week.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
I
guarantee.
mean, he beat Penn State on Indiana before Indiana was worth a damn. So,
True.
respect.
Indiana's still not worth a damn.
That's true. But, you know,
I disagree. Beat Notre Dame.
I
That's the
this is
game I'm
the
most
one
hyped
time.
I'm
One
rooting
time
hard
I'm
for Notre
cheering
Dame.
for Notre Dame. I hate Notre Dame. Indiana needs to get the fuck out.
I hate Indiana.
Why?
Well, I hate Indiana basketball, so that probably has a lot to do with it. But I'm not into glory underdog stories in college football. I want to see the dogs.
Also,
Why do you don't hate Notre Dame?
Of course I hate Notre Dame, but I want to see I'd rather see Notre Dame play like a Texas than Texas destroy Indiana by 800 points.
and if Notre Dame wins, they play Georgia, and Georgia's going to fucking expose them. I think.
It depends
Do they
if
play
depends if Carson Beck's playing or not. If Carson Beck's playing, Georgia will lose right away. Because
Fair
he's
point.
not good. He's not good. Wouldn't it be better if Indiana knocks out Notre Dame and then Indiana gets their shit kicked in?
No.
Nope.
Really?
No. Because that's gonna just, validate, you can have a shitty schedule and get in just because
Right.
you win against shitty teams.
Like congratulations, you beat Michigan State.
What does Notre Dame do every fucking year?
Exactly what we're talking about. But
Yes.
Notre Dame's a better team than Indiana is.
Yeah.
We'll see.
They beat Army. Indiana's beat nobody.
Does Notre Dame still have Riley Leonard?
I don't think
I don't
so.
think so. I think he
Oh,
graduated last year.
That guy was coming out of Duke. There's not a more hateable player than a white guy from Duke transferring to Notre Dame.
Notre Dame is just Duke of the Midwest. I don't know how you're cheering for them to win a game.
I hate Indiana.
Disagree. Penix over Jaden Daniels. I would still
Yeah,
roll
for
with
sure.
the guy who got you there, I think. But
Really?
I don't like Jaden Daniels, but I would feel so dumb
Yep.
just like picking up a guy and starting him over someone who's been a top 5 quarterback for the majority of the year.
Yeah.
I hate
you-
the
you did
matchup.
that.
In a vacuum, it's close, but I can't do it.
If you start Jaden Daniels over Penix and you lose, whatever. If you start Penix over Jaden Daniels and that's why you lose, you're thinking about that the entire offseason.
But what if you start Penix over Jaden Daniels and you win?
I know. Then you feel so
Then it's-
smart.
Then it's like
Yeah.
a blind squirrel finding a nut, though.
No,
You know?
no. Then you hold that over everyone in your fantasy league for years to come. Remember when I picked up Michael Penix in the fantasy playoff semifinals and I won, and it brought me to the championship, and I then won with him in the championship? You know how great that's going to sound in 10 years? And everyone's like, oh, fuck you. I remember that. And you can hold that over. That's an incredible thing to do.
Unless Penix
Right, Zach?
becomes good. If Penix sucks, then it's great. But if Penix becomes an all-star quarterback, it's like, well, yeah, no shit, you won with Michael Penix.
And then you're that much smarter that you got him and nobody else did.
So the next week they play each other. So Penix would get to play Washington.
Love it.
I love that too. I'm just saying I would play Jane Daniels, and if you
Yeah,
play
you're
next
probably
week
right.
and Penix is fine, then I'm playing Penix at that point. Then whatever. But like we know Atlanta's coming into this game with two things in mind. They can still make the playoffs, so they're trying to win, but they're gonna win this game. Like they just need Penix not to be a disaster, which I don't think he will be, but just because of that, they're gonna put him in a position not to fail, and that means handing the ball off at a minimum 30 times.
Yeah, I get it, but Penix is a fucking dog, man.
He is a dog. Play Penix.
Yeah. Zach,
Damn it.
I know this is NFL, but you beat me in college football championship with Penix putting up 60 points.
I know. It was
Oh,
like the
he
best
knows.
feeling in
He
the
tweeted
world.
about it.
Yeah.
Oh God, that was so. Him and Dunze were just a cheat code last year.
I
It
think
was
they had 120 in our championship game, like between them.
We got to. Son of.
It's-
What's the exact stats Jane Daniels had?
And I'm a
against the
Jane
Eagles
Daniels
ago?
guy.
He's great. He's great.
Yeah.
Eagles are legit. Against them last time, he went for 191, one touchdown, one interception, 18 rushing yards, quarterback 24 on the.
It's not going to win you a championship.
It's not. He is home this week, so that changes things a little bit. Their defense is a little bit better with Lattimore in there, so maybe they force getting the Eagles offense off the field. Man.
This is
Also,
the
let
play.
me-
I'm telling you. You don't get many opportunities to make a big ball play and win a championship. This is one.
If it's me, doing rankings and shit like that, I go off script because if it's me giving advice or me doing it, two things. If it's me, I'm playing Penix over Jane Daniels.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep Jane Daniels ranked above Penix. I think you probably should play Daniels over Penix. If I'm picking him up and playing him in every situation this week.
Yeah, I think so. Unless you have
just so-
Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Also, we don't have to spend much time on this, but yes, we are absolutely dropping Anthony Richardson for Penix. Anthony Richardson is a bum.
Oh, yeah. Anthony
Is that
Richardson
Anthony
wishes
Richardson?
he was Michael Penix.
That's Anthony Richardson, not Aaron Rodgers.
Didn't think about that. But yes, still I'm dropping him for Penix.
Aaron Rodgers kind of been balling.
He has been balling. Are we starting Penix over Daniels, but not over Rodgers?
I don't know. I don't know, man. It's two dogs we're talking about here.
He is a dog. I need to watch the Rodgers documentary.
Yeah,
I'm so
Rodgers
excited
is a
for it.
dog that has rabies.
Yeah.
Rodgers is incredible.
I'm
do we-
starting Penix. I'm starting Penix.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Do we like Pitts with Penix this week, or
I
should we
do.
pick up Strange?
No, do not touch Jacksonville.
Don't touch. Yeah, exactly. Don't touch Jacksonville.
Play Strange. They play the Raiders. He's going to see 10 targets.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, fine, whatever. But like, it's another one.
We could
where-
be hyped. We could be hyped about Penix. Let's just focus on Kyle Pitts for a second. I think Pitts gets
I
better.
know.
We don't need to play Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, I know. I just.
We've
It's
been on
another
one
one.
side with Kyle Pitts for years. We've been on the
Yeah.
correct side of Kyle Pitts for years. Don't need to flip. We don't need to do that.
I don't want to play a Jacksonville player in a game I have to win.
No, but the Raiders are in a must-lose game. They're in the race for Shadur right now.
Yeah.
Well, they're getting Shadur no
And-
matter what.
and-
It's just whether they have to trade for him or not.
Well, they also don't have Max Crosby. The Raiders
True.
don't. So
True.
then tight end doesn't
True.
have to stay in and chip. They just get to go out for a route.
True.
So I would still go him. Okay. Keep asking Penix questions, preferably, but if you have any other fantasy questions, definitely ask them. Ray wants to know, start 2 standard. Cooper Kupp versus the Jets, Garrett Wilson, Lad McConkey, Jacoby Myers, or Khalil Shakir. So starting 2.
Cup.
I think my order is Kupp, Wilson, Myers, McConkey, Shakir.
Yes. Yep.
Yep. Also, stop being in standard leagues, guys.
If
No.
you can.
No, standard's fun.
No, it's not.
There's going to be a point where I think standard's cool. I'm not there yet. But once everybody's fully off standard, you guys can bet we're having a standard league. Just so you know. That's how my mind works. At the moment, I still hate it. But eventually it'll come around. Hunter Henry or Dalton Kincaid. I am going Hunter Henry.
Yeah, is Dalton Kincaid alive?
He did decent. He just came back last week. He was okay. But
Okay.
Hunter.
It's probably ignorance on my part, and that I have no Dalton Kincaid like in any dynasty or anything. But just like it's a name you haven't heard this year.
you've been on the correct side. Like he just hasn't been really
Yeah.
very involved. Still mad at Dunze for dropping that touchdown at the end of last week.
Yeah.
I feel you. He hasn't been the same since he didn't have a good quarterback throwing to him. Jimmy start 2, Drake London, Higgins, JT, and Neighbors. That's tough.
London Higgins.
I think so as well.
Yep.
Great choices. Yeah, that's what I would do. Pater, what is up? Welcome
Pater.
back. Lost by 3 points.
Ouch.
That blows. Opponent was the same guy, lost to last year. Any advice on how to deal with this level of pain and shame?
Oh, it's
Call-
going to be
I mean-
next week.
You call them slurs.
Tater, come back with that same question next week. I'll have an answer for you.
I mean, if we want to stick, Luke's option's very. That's definitely an option, and it could help. And I would love, report back if you try that option for sure. We've been talking a lot about Michael Penix, so play DFS this week. Put Penix in there. I can only assume he's cheap,
Yeah.
and reap the rewards. Do a stack. Do the Penix
Pater,
London Ray McLeod or something.
Pater, you're in a situation where anything you do is not going to matter because you've lost to this guy twice in a row now. So just silently make some money on your own.
Yeah. Plot how to specifically sabotage that guy's team next year.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
next year, just send him horrible trades. Like every time he rejects it, send another one and just annoy him the entire league.
Here's what you do. It's a combination of what you guys said. Make a lot of money from DFS and then use that money to buy off your league mates to screw him over next year.
Thought you're going a different way. They're going to say make money off of DFS, make a billboard with a slur towards that person.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's an
Also
option.
an option. That might not even be a legal option, but you could try it.
Freedom of
That's
speech.
legal versus legal. There's a lot of empty billboards, and at some point they're
There
just
are.
going to take your money.
Yeah.
Yeah, there isn't enough Nicolay Law marketing bucks to fill them all up, I guess. Is that everywhere, or is that just here?
He
No,
supports every team too. You can't support the Twins and the Brewers. Get the hell out of here.
I'm impressed how they have the marketing bucks to just be. He had an ad during the Super Bowl last year, like 2 years in a row, I think.
Mhm.
Crazy. Okay. I really don't want to talk about rankings. So if you guys have any other questions, ask away. FlurrySports.org. You can get the rankings for this week. Obviously, we have games on Saturday, so definitely make sure your lineups are set.
Yeah.
Every year, I hear of somebody losing because they fucked up, like
Yep.
during this first Saturday week. So don't be that person. If you have someone playing on Saturday, don't have them in a flex spot, if possible, just in case there's an injury that happens. You want to have that flexibility. Put them at running back or wide receiver or tight end, obviously. Jimmy wants to know who's the best defense to grab for week 17. Trying to grab them now to avoid waivers. Let's take a look.
That's what I did with the Falcons. That's a great strategy.
Falcons certainly paying off for this week as well. If you played them last week, as many did. Okay, who are the good matchups? Seahawks play the Bears. That's not the worst one.
We can get better than that.
You can get better than that. If the Chargers somehow are out there, they play the Patriots.
We can get better than that. Who's Jacksonville got?
I'm not sure if Jacksonville's the easiest offense to play. They play Tennessee. Tennessee's probably out there, and they have a good defense. So actually, I don't hate that.
Yeah, I don't. It's Mac Jones. You will get turnovers.
Yeah. Dolphins play the Browns, so that could be one to get ahead of if the Browns are terrible this week, which they probably will be. Colts play the Giants. That's not the worst one. Saints play the Raiders. So you probably want to avoid that, but if you're super desperate, Saints aren't that bad.
There's a lot of really bad NFL teams.
Yeah. There's a lot of really bad quarterbacks that argue there's maybe 5 good ones.
And you know what's crazy about that? There's like 10 teams that could realistically go for the number 1 pick in these next 3 weeks. There's only really been like 2 or 3 dominant NFL teams over the last 5 years. Like teams just aren't getting better.
No, it's the front offices. It's just non-football people making terrible decisions and being impatient and making all these coaching changes. And you got the colleges not like teaching offensive line play, not coaching the way the NFL is going. They're not developing offensive linemen. They're not having offensive linemen on practice squads. They're not doing that kind of stuff. Quarterbacks are getting much, much, much dumber while getting more athletic. That's hurting things. A lot of bad shit. Legitimately, I think we have 3, maybe 4 teams who could win a Super Bowl this year, and the Buffalo Bills aren't one of them. There's just, it's not good. It's not a good product. It's not NBA level bad, but NFL needs to improve.
While we're and everyone listening, keep dropping questions. We'll answer them as soon as they come up. I got a good fantasy story for you guys.
Go for it.
A buddy of mine is in a league, and he was going against Drake London last night, and all he had was Jesse Bates. Okay, so you only get points. You only get points for a sack and interception. Drake London gets above him on the last drive, and my buddy won on the Hail Mary Jesse Bates interception to move on in the playoffs.
Tough. I mean, good for him. That's insane. And Bates, by all accounts, should not have caught that.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Should have just slapped that shit down. I couldn't believe it was him. Like, what's he doing?
Right.
But he must have an incentive. Like, he has to hit a certain number of interceptions. Yeah.
Kind of going back to one of the things you talked about earlier of like people getting screwed every year, forgetting about the Saturday games. My question to you is, and I know this would never happen with us, how do you let that happen? You play 17 weeks. You are at a point where it matters. How are you not checking your lineup like at least after waivers clear Wednesday, or at least, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? I've never understood that. Like, unless somebody's late inactive and you're out doing something, there's no reason you should miss that.
I said the same thing last year. Last year, a guy in my guillotine league, he went on vacation to Hawaii and didn't have access to put it in. I said, that's probably the only excuse that you can have for not setting it.
That's fair.
It is. I mean, you got holiday shit going on, and a lot of people just look to see if their players play on Thursday or not. If it's not Thursday, typically that means it's Sunday, and they just didn't know that Saturdays start this week because there really isn't that much advertising for it. There's advertising for the Christmas games, not necessarily Saturday games. Other than college football, there's a ton of college football playoff games Saturday and stuff like that. So I understand it a little bit, but at some point, survival of the fittest.
Right.
I also have a question for you guys. Is there one player that you guys, or who is the one player that you guys will hate forever because they crushed your fantasy dreams in like Dynasty? So like for me, we know it's Juwan Johnson and Jerick McKinnon that Luke just destroyed me with. Do you guys have one of those or 2 of those players that you just will forever hate because of that?
Honestly, it might be Jonathan Taylor.
From last week?
I might get to that point with him this week.
From like last week and like the last 3 years.
That's fair. I mean, did you lose because of that fumble last week, or not touchdown? No. I guess.
No, I didn't, but I would imagine a lot of people did.
Probably.
It prevented me from coming in first and winning money for coming in first, but
I don't know if I do. I mean, I hated Kenyon Drake for a while, but
Oh yeah, I
I,
still
I,
hate him.
I
there's
guys that-
somebody I'm forgetting, but there for sure is somebody who absolutely slaughtered me in the fantasy championship or something.
there's guys that I have where it's like, oh, I have one. Damar Hamlin. When he died,
Oh, for sure.
Oh, I
Yeah.
forgot about that.
I
What-
lost because of it. Well, I was winning my league
Yep.
because
I remember that.
Yahoo reverted to pre that game. Even though I had Joe Burrow and T. Higgins and was winning, they
Yeah.
reverted back to 0, which made no sense.
yeah, I was so that was our 2-week championship. I was against Coach in our dynasty league, and I was down by like 120 after the first week, and I came all the way back. And the T. Higgins catch that Damar Hamlin died on, he won. Like that won him the championship.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So I guess not really Damar Hamlin's fault, but should have been reverted to 0.
So we're on both sides of it, I guess. But
Yeah, I guess.
it made no sense to revert it, though. Like, I don't
No.
understand why that happened.
Like if an MLB game gets rained out after 7 innings, they're still counting stats.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess like in their rules, it's like if the game goes down as a no contest or something like that, then it's just zeroed. But I don't think they wrote that rule assuming the game
Someone would die.
Well, but the game would like start. You know, I
Yeah.
think they're just talking like if the game, like remember we had that Wednesday game at one point. Like if that game
Yep.
just never happened, it would just be zeros. That's what I assume. That's what they were thinking. Not, hey, let's take away all the stats that were accumulated.
Yeah. There's guys every year that I'm like, no, I'm not going to draft them. You know, they're not going to do anything, and then they do something. Like Mike Evans was that forever, and then I've been drafting him the last couple of years, and it's been great. But there's a couple guys like that. Like I'm not going to say Chris Olave because he's been hurt and sucked, but he's had good years where I'm like, there's no way he's going to do anything, or something like that.
That's
Josh
true.
Allen is kind of
Yeah.
that way for me.
For a full year, yeah, there's people then I would hate probably, but like David Johnson, maybe. I was pretty high on David Johnson.
Yeah.
Then he like hurt his wrist and was taken out back and
And-
shot.
Forgot how to run.
Yeah, it happens, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how that situation happened, but whatever. Any other questions, ask them. Again, if you're coming in just now or later in the show. This is our Wednesday ranking show, but we are going to continue this on Wednesday nights and stuff with the ranking show where we rank other things, not just sports, ranking pizza toppings, ranking. We did NFL draft has. We're going to be doing that every single week. So if you have suggestions of things you want us to rank,
Oh,
definitely write them down. Let us know. Comment under this. Comment now. The non-sports ones I feel like get more heated. So if you want us to, get that Michael Penix level of excitement, I would choose probably a food one. To be honest, I feel like that's where the hottest of takes come out.
yeah. We did the fruit, and I said that kumquats are for perverts. I had a kumquat
yeah.
the other day.
And
It wasn't bad. It tastes like an orange peel.
I mean,
So what does that
you're-
say about you?
Yeah,
I guess,
and
I don't
okay.
know. I
The
don't know.
transitive property. What's going on?
Right. I mean, I think I discovered some things about myself here. Like a kumquat is not a bad fruit.
That's okay.
If we redid fruits, like kumquats is probably like set third tier for me.
That's not very high. That's B.
Well, it's better than pervert last year.
That's true.
Yeah.
He's made a lot of growth, growth in one area. I'm not sure which area yet. I guess. Okay, that's okay. Maybe we should all try kumquats, and maybe we'll
Yeah.
find out things about ourselves.
Yeah,
Across
it
the
was
board.
it
I
was
don't know.
enlightening.
Okay, is it enlightening?
It was.
Where he's just like son of a bitch.
I'm like, I was so wrong about kumquats.
Okay.
So wait, let me hear something. Did somebody offer you a kumquat? Did a
Yeah.
pervert offer you a kumquat, or did you
No,
just
no,
try to
What
buy it?
pervert gave you a kumquat?
No, not pervert. It was at school. They had kumquats for lunch, and I grabbed one. I'm like, I'll try it.
They have those things at schools.
I guess so.
Yo, who serves kumquats in a cafeteria? What?
No, we do like
Sherbets.
they give kids like different fruits, try exotic fruits and stuff, and kumquats is one of them.
Two Harbors, progressive on fruits.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Michelle Obama gets out of office, and all of a sudden, school lunches are getting better at some.
That's what I'm saying. Crazy how that works, huh?
I know. Okay. Well, if you have any other questions, definitely comment them under the video, and definitely let us know things you want us to rank, and we will definitely do that. Or if there's specific like companies you want us to reach out to as well. We did Chinook Seedery. We did ranked other sunflower seed flavors. We are willing to do that again. I messaged one. Who did I message? Somebody I messaged. They're like, we're not looking for it.
Oreo.
I messaged Oreo. Didn't hear anything back. I can tell you in 2 seconds here. I did it today. They got back to me quickly. They really were not looking for it. Pop-Tarts. I was gonna like see if we can get some free Pop-Tarts.
You see,
they're like, nah, we don't partner with people. I'm like, okay.
they got the toaster in the Pop-Tart trophy for the Pop-Tart bowl. There's a toaster in the
really?
trophy. Yeah.
I like that.
Also,
Like-
they're gonna have 3 different Pop-Tarts, all with different personalities at the game. So that's gonna be fun.
There's a new flavor of Pop-Tart coming out. It's lemon berry.
Oh, I bet that's
Jack
gonna be
about that.
awesome.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
I don't know what berry is going to be, but if it's just the wild berry adding lemon to it, I think I'm for it.
Agreed.
Okay, we will be back in a little bit with Lombardi Sweep. We'll talk about the Green Bay Packers. So come back for that, hang out, talk Green Bay Packers, and it's going to be a short one. They play the Saints. It's not going to be anything, but
14 and a
come
half
back.
point favorites.
Yeah, insane. Okay, see you soon.